I was able to kind of pick and choose them along the way. And I made sure that I felt comfortable with every doctor on my team.
That's
And
something I
I,
really advocate for, by the way. So I did
yeah,
exactly the same thing. My first group of doctors at the first hospital, they got sacked about 7 weeks into my whole experience. And I went to a new hospital and I found a new team of people and I felt really calm, really comfortable, really supported. And I'm going to generalize here a lot. Uh, it was the team previously was being led by an older 70-plus-year-old man, and the new team was led by a probably 50-something-year-old female. And it was just a completely different experience. And they were talking about me at the first part of the uh, diagnosis and the medical support. And then at this new one, they were talking with me about what was happening and what's going on. And I was part of the decision-making process. It wasn't just somebody in a bed where they were making decisions on my behalf. So I think it's another really important point that you raised there. I completely agree with you that you should choose your team of doctors, especially if you're coming across them and you don't like the way that they're approaching it.
yeah, and that's a difficult thing to do because we've been kind of a condition to doctors and figures of authority or know what they're talking about. And, neurologists have been trained in this. And but honestly, my first neurologist was his ego was out of control, and he clearly wasn't up on the latest science, and he wanted to be, an authority figure. I found out a couple of years later that there had been a lot of complaints about him, and he he ended up leaving town, but his ego was just out of control, and sometimes medical professionals just that's that's their mo. But
Sometimes
it's
medical
very
professionals
hard.
are also psychopaths by definition. And I'm not saying that they go around doing nasty things to people. I'm just saying, in order to get to the point of their level of success in a particular career, uh, to be a good neurologist, you have to have certain traits. And some of those traits are not to be empathetical. For example, when you're looking at scans and to be able to make real clinical decisions about what's happening. So you kind of have to check your emotions in at the beginning of your shift, pop them to the side, do your thing. But then there is a part of that when you're speaking to a human being, you're supposed to be able to switch them off. Now, for him to walk out from the consult because you started crying and not come back, well, that says a lot about a person. And he may be very gifted in his ability to read a scan and tell you how to resolve a neurological problem, but his ability to be gifted in that space perhaps meant that he didn't focus on these other things that are also essential in patient care, which is to maybe offer a box of tissues, if nothing else, if
Something.
you know
Yes,
just
something. Be a human being.
yeah, just to
you
help you
know
clean up the snotty nose, whatever.
exactly. Right.